Hello everyone and welcome to the tutorial for the 1.5 seconds opening 612 blocks 5x5. So finally I have been able to create this. So yeah, right now this is a 15 redstone ticks clocks or 30 game ticks clocks. So I've pasted the door over into 4 locations and 4 directions, and I've tested it and with this 15 redstone tick clock, and I'm 100% that this is not locational or directional. So yeah, I hope that you will be able to follow this tutorial, and I think I'm just going to get started. So the area you will need is a 9x4x17. Find your third width from the front right there. Go up 2 blocks, and then we have 2 blocks in the floor, 2 blocks of space below the double extender right here in the middle, because the wiring is going to go until down there. So we're gonna have the standard storage nowadays like this. Actually the layout is the same, but with one small change that I will... My middle click is not responding really good right now. Okay, so storage is like this. Let me just continue to finish the layout really quick. Like this, and then again the side pistons. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have their what is it? The flush quintuple? Not quintuple. The quadruple extender, and then the same as this side, like so. And then for the observer pusher, I think it's pretty well known right now, because I believe everyone has known this and how this works. But I'm not going to be explaining as much as I can, because I'm going to make another explanation video. I don't know when, but I will definitely make it. And for the middle one, just like this. And I should just fill this out real quick. And one small thing is that we're going to add this piston right here down below here, and I'll explain that later. And in this right side here, you need an immovable block that is non-solid, so place a chest or a beacon or a hopper. But again, I hate hoppers, so beacon, what is it? A chest would do, and then right here we need a dropper for... oh no, we don't need a dropper. It's actually a furnace, like this. And then we also need one immovable block right here. That is for later, because we need that for the layout. So we will start with the input circuit. So go from this corner right here, place 2 blocks and then 1 more. Place a dust on top of it, and then 1 block above it is where your lever is going to be, like there. So from there you want to go down diagonally down from over here and place the dust down there, and then right here you want to grab your dropper and your furnace. Again, I will be using this quite a lot in this door, so yeah, place a dropper and then a different item or random item in the dropper, and then different item in the top slot, like this. And because this is currently being budded, so just a note block to update it. And this will just go into here, so this will just push this across in the beginning of the opening. And then right here you want to have a piston right here with an observer, and then finally your solid block right there. And then we are going to build our instant extension, so let me just grab your slab real quick, because you'll need a block with a... I don't have a repeater, that's slightly unfortunate. Oops. Sorry, I haven't played my Minecraft since, I don't know, last week, so I'm sorry for the bit blocky movement. So like this, and then you want to have your sticky piston on top of here. Oops. So you want to have your block right here, so when this closes it doesn't power the line. So let me just... I kind of forgot to do this, so let's just do it real quick. With our input lines right here, and 1 more right here, and then up here you want to have another input line right this. On top of here you want to have 1 more, but on top of here we need this to be a slab and a block, so it doesn't connect together. And then actually this needs to be... we need some targets right here. We need a target right there and a target right there. So that will be used for later, but we need that to power this pistons, and then to power this 2 pistons. Okay, now for the instant extension is almost done. We just need to have the slider let me just oops, zero tick slider. Let me just grab this block, or this needs to be target like this, and then you have your sticky piston, regular piston right here with a piston to update that, and you have your redstone block 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, yes, and then another redstone block, and then an updater piston right there, and then oops, that needs to be down right here with your glass one more. So this should be your zero tick slider right there. That will just zero tick this line right there. Okay, this is almost the instant extension done. We just need a couple more things, and that is this piston with a composter. So no, this needs to be up right here. Please just fill this level 5. If you want to fill it more, that's fine, right there. And then you want to have your comparator up on top of this block right here. So that's one lower right there. So I just want to mention something, is that this circuit, this side right here, is mostly going to be the same as PixieBlox, G7, and Lumendo's 540blocks 555, because yeah, I took some things like this, what is it, the updater in this line is actually pretty useful because I kind of struggled. So yeah, credit to them for this amazing circuit right here. And then you want to go up, and then 2 observers like this. So after this opens, this will power this again, so it spits back out. And then 1 2 3 4 until this pushes back up, and then you will have your rail on top of this furnace, and then a block, an observer, and then a solid block right there. And then because we need, I kind of forget, so we need this observer facing down like this to actually push this observer down, this observer pusher right there down. So replace your observer and your block. Okay, so now we need a piston right here. So this extends, this will just power the observer and then push this piston down, and then this will actually power this dust right here. This to updates that, so this retracts and it doesn't actually cause any problem. So right there, this is pretty much all this side done, except we need to do the closing. So the closing would just be this and then this, so that's not quite hard. And then this is the majority of this side done. We need a couple more things right here, but this should be our closing done. So now we can get onto the quad retraction circuit. So I kind of forget something, is that we need this line right here being continued to this, so this will just push down, and then we have immovable blocks right here. So in the closing, when we also will power this because of this observer, so yeah, it will not do anything. And so next we will go into the quad retraction. So currently the door needs to close. That means that this observer needs to be right here, trap door right there, and then we need a block, just 2 scaffoldings, 1 observer facing up, and then right here we will set our second zero tick slider that was found by G4mespeed, so credit to him, because this is actually what allows this door to achieve the speed of 1.50 seconds. So 1 up there piston right here and 1 down there. So this will just go into, oh, we need something, and that is this updater piston right there, and then this slab for the input to the top. So, and then we need this dust right here, so it actually updates the whole line right here. Next we need to power this, so we will have another dropper furnace right here, dropper facing here, and then furnace right here. Place another random item there, and then different item in the top slot right there. And then we need this kind of tricky to place, but observer coming down, observer going up, 1 facing to the top piston and 1 facing into this solid block. So this needs to be solid because we will power this block before this pushes down with this piston. Okay, and then now to power this, just place this block right there. So this almost do the whole retraction. We just needed to power this 2 pistons in the top. So scaffolding there, 2, and trapdoor observer right here, piston, and then another observer right here. So remember that this needs to be a piston. Do not put, like, you can put a block here and what is it, a hopper. Don't put any rails or node block on top here, because that will power this and break the door. Okay, that's almost everything. We just need to do this piston, and then this will just power this for the last pulse. Before we continue the quad retraction, I kind of forget this part. So a piston right there, an observer, a piston again, sticky piston. Because currently the door needs to close, that means the observer needs to be right here with a dust on top of it. And then because right here, this will power that. And we don't want, so place an observer facing down here for later. And then a trip wire hook, or place any buttons or detector. Don't put a detector rail, but yeah, anything that redirects the redstone into this side. Don't redirect it into this side because we need this space for something else. Okay, now we can almost continue this. So place a dust right here, redstone dust block, observer facing up into a block with a repeater on 2 ticks, and then a sticky piston with a block, and then right out here we have to place a torch like so, and then this will be a solid block, slab, and then right here we need our updater piston, just okay right there. So you're gonna have to find yourself out, just probably temporarily break these two right there, and then just place 3 dust. This is why this needs to be 2 targets, because this needs to be a non-solid object, because it will just power this and we don't want that. So, and then this needs to be target again, because again this slab doesn't power this piston, and then we have this updater piston. Okay, that is almost everything. We have this space left for this, and then to do that, actually we need 2 repeaters right here on 2 ticks each. Oh, okay, that's gonna give me a problem. We just reset it. Probably easier to do like from down below here. I suggest just do this. Place 3 torches, block on top of it, and update the piston. That will just break, and it will just push the blocks up. Right there, so I did a mistake. So this needs to be an observer facing inwards, and replace your trip wire hook. That was my fault. And then finally your observer, and then your observer facing into this piston. So this should be the entirety of your top quad done. I think we can test it. Let me just test it real quick. So it actually did mess up. So this was actually correct, but this thing, when the door is open, this needs to be right here. So it will just be reset from right there. So before you open it, make sure, before you close it, open it, make sure that this observer is right here. And you might see that if you close it without the bottom being done, you will see that this blocks will actually be spat out here, and it is fine because right there, down there, we will have a toggle, so we will just lock this repeater, so in the closing this will not push down. So this should be your whole extension quad, except we didn't actually put a block right here, but yeah, it will just do the same, so we don't have to test it right now. But you can see right here, this will push down because of that because of this redstone block slider, but that's fine. So if you want to have a proper test, just do this and this, like that. So that is the top done. Alright, so we will continue with the bottom circuit. So we place a piston right there, and then another observer right here with a block, and then you want to have this will be like this, so this needs to go down right there with redstone dust. We need that's redstone dust right here, and then a slab right here. We don't place a hopper right here, that's fine, because we can place an obsidian right here, so that's kind of convenient. That's going to be that, and then right here you just want to do something like this, and then finally go up here with a slab, and right here we actually can have no immovable objects, just place dust on top here. So yeah, we don't need to place any immovable object right here, but if you test your door and somehow this breaks, just replace it with a hopper, because I have tested in all 4 directions right here and I have never encountered that problem before. So if that happens to you, I am fairly sorry. Next up, we want to power the sides, not the sides, the side storages. So a rail right here. Where's my observer? Gosh. Okay, 2 observers like this, with a block, and then this down here needs to be a node block. Important that it needs to be a node block, because if we have a piston right here, we will encounter some quirks and some things that will break because of block event delays. And yeah, just place a node block right there. It's actually not a bad thing at all. Okay, and then this only gives 1 pulse, and we need 3 pulses to make the storage work. And before I forget, probably just place a dropper right here. Don't place a fuel like node block. Place another item random, and then different top slot, like so. And this will just go into our input right here. This needs to be gray because this is mainly uses for the double piston extender. Just build the input really quick right here, and dust here, observer dust. So this will just power this to do the closing. And then next up, we need again the 3 pulses to this line. So the first pulse will just come from this slider right here, coming into this node block. And so this unfortunately needs to be replaced with an observer. That is my bad. And then before I forget again, just break that real quick. Observer facing down, observer facing back into this, and then a 4-tick repeater. This will just reset this at the perfect time. And then next up, we need to power this piston. So place a block, observer facing down, dust, 2-tick repeater, running up, block. It doesn't actually power it powers this, but it doesn't actually matter, because this will just reset it later. For this side, we need a piston, and then now the observer actually faces inwards like this. The return piston right here, and then our block. We need a dropper facing into where's my furnace? Yeah, dropper furnace again. You can see that, yeah, dropper furnace are used a lot in this door. So, but yeah. Thankfully it's only cobblestone, so I feel like you have plenty of cobblestones just stashed away in your base if you want to build this in survival. So right here, and this will just be 1-tick repeater because we need this for this thing to be working later. And we already silenced this. And then for the 3rd pulse, this needs to be a dropper because we need this to power from a quasi connectivity. And then just place an observer right here. Observer facing in, out like again. And then a block with, I think this needs to be placed on top of an observer like this. Rail, and then observer facing up, so that will power that. Alright, next up we need to, again, this already does all the thing, and then now we need to do some extra moves, not extra moves, extra circuits for the double. And then let's just currently do the sides real quick. So it's going to be done in cyan circuit. So coming up from here, you want to have an observer, and then where is a normal piston? Right, I don't. Okay, normal piston coming up, and then a block. We need our scaffolding and our trapdoor to up like this. Where's my observer? Right, this rail. This is why I have to make this actually a dropper, because this needs to be a rail, or you can place a rail right here and place it with an obsidian and then place a hopper here, but again I hate hoppers, so I don't want that. So just do this will work. So right here, sorry for that, and then dust, and then for this side we just have observer, a piston, and then observer with a block. So this should do this. This side done, and then for this side we observer coming up from here for this side. And I have lost my my cyan, what is it? Terracotta. So scaffolding on top of this piston, do not put it up here, because this piston moving will actually update the scaffolding at the perfectly wrong time right here. And then finally, just like, give me dust, thank you, right there. So this should be the sides done. Just fill this part of the frame if you would like to, right there. For the final double piston extender, just place another dropper facing to this furnace, because currently has light blue, so I suggest placing something different like this might work. This will definitely work. So observer coming from there, 2 blocks right here, 2 dust, and then just before I forget later, just place this block, observer facing down, and then a 3 tick to reset this at the perfect time. And then finally you want to have your block right, trapdoor block, 2 scaffoldings, and then a observer coming from there. And then currently the door needs to close. That means that this needs to be right. This observer needs to be like there. Block, solid block, that is. Redstone lamp. Boom, that is wrong. Just get it over here. Block, and then terracotta or any solid blocks, and then normal piston, and then your observer. So that will do that. And then we need a couple more things. Is that currently the door needs to close. That means that we need to place a block right here, because this is part of the, so this is actually a smart circuit, because in the closing this will go through and extend this, so that will not push, and then this will pull, and then the opening this will come through, and then this will push it out. So yeah, that's a smart toggle that I came up with right there. And then finally we just need this circuit right here, lamp, blow here, block, and then your final block right here, observer facing down. And the reason why, because we need the third pulse happens at 20 game ticks, and we have 2 more pulse, we have 2 more observers, so that happens at 24 game ticks. This is a little bit of explanation, but that pulse actually will come here, and then this will push up and break. But this side, it will not happen, because this side blocks will just be right here, and then we have an immovable block right here, so it will not push out. And that is just why I had to make this quadrisynced, because of that last pulse, annoying pulse. So I had to make this last pulse traction happen at very late, so that pulse actually will not matter. But this side we can't have it, because we have this updater piston. So I just pull it down and then push it back up to reset it with this lamp. So that's entirely that should be the entirety of your door right there. That, okay, oops, right there. So that opens fully, wonderfully. So yeah, I hope you will stay tuned for the explanation that I will upload. I don't know when, but I haven't actually made it, so hopefully I can make it as soon as possible. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, see you guys next episode.